I want to thank you for listening to Negative to Positive, which is brought to you by our good neighbors at State Farm. If you know me, you know I'm all about the real deal with State Farm. You get the real deal. Great service and surprisingly great rates. Like a good neighbor, como un bien vecino. Ya tú sabes la jugada. State Farm is there. There's no losing, only learning. I have the responsibility to make sure that you guys are well represented. There's no failure, only opportunities. Anytime you see me, you can say, oye, ese tipo tiene su pasado. And there's no problems, only solutions. Pero mira lo que está haciendo con su vida. He took it from a negative to a positive, and that's what's representing us now. This is From Negative to Positive. So you already know what it is. That little Chico Pitbull, Mr. 305, better said Mr. Worldwide, checking in with Jenny V.
What up?
And White Shadow. Hey. And the legendary DJ Laz.
Gotta know.
Yeah. So this right here is From a Negative to Positive, and it is a true honor, true pleasure. History in the making right here, folks. Reporting live from the 305, straight to the ATS, shouted with the King of Crunk himself, Lil Jon, Lil Jizzle.
Hey.
Okay. You like that or what? That was pretty good, right?
No. That was terrible.
Straight up.
All right, let me try again then.
It was
okay. Yeah, that was horrible.
Oh, yeah, that was horrible.
Okay. Well, give me one, man.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, he won it.
You're never gonna beat that. That's like boxing with God, right?
Right?
You're never gonna win. You're never gonna win.
Oh man, Little Jon, what they do, what they don't, what it is, what it ain't.
Hey man, blessings to everybody. What up, White Shadow? It's been a minute. I ain't seen you in a minute.
I know,
what up, Laz?
man.
What up, young lady? I don't know your name, but hey, shouty.
You know Jenny, man.
You know me.
Jenny from the most bad when she's the one that drunk you on the table with that Don Julio.
I can't see the damn screen. I hate this Zoom shit. The damn shit so goddamn small. Can't see your ass. Oh, there you Hey, Jenny.
Now he's like, okay. Yeah, so what's going on, man?
Man, I'm just here, man, and just learning new technologies and really diving into these beats. I'm working on Saweetie's album right now. So, yeah, me and my son producing together. So
God bless.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yes, sir.
You got any deer in that backyard? You look like you're in the woods right now a little bit.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of deer. Like, it's big bucks and
Hey.
big bucks in the back. Yeah, big bucks. You know, them like 7 foot tall, 6 foot tall.
Oh, man. Hey, but we brought you on for one. Thank you so much for taking the time, man. We appreciate it and checking in. But this basically all about letting the world know how we've taken our lives from negatives to positives and all the things that we've been through in the game and how people never believed in us, never gave us opportunity. And we basically just fought for everything that we have. And, you know, for me to have you on the show, especially everything that you've done for me and my career and the doors you've opened and what you've taught me, you know, John's the one that taught me how to basically put together records. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just rapping. He's the one that taught me how to put records together. And actually he was playing, you know, Laz was just playing I Don't Give a F***. And I know when we did the remix to that, you allowed me to jump on it and I put it out here in Miami. And that record basically changed my life and the track 18 on Kings of Crunk, which I got to tell them the story about that, John.
Let's just, you do it. Go right ahead.
Oh,
sir.
man, let me tell you. I run into John. I'm walking out of this place called, it wasn't Fat Tuesdays, the other one, Wet Willie's. Okay, well, clearly you go to get up. So I'm walking out and an old school booty shaking bass producer, Danny D, introduces me to Little Jizzle. And John, you know, since I'm not from Atlanta, it's hard to catch the twang sometimes. And he's like, I don't know what you saying on that record, shouted, but you slamming over it. And I was like, what the f?
We were talking about, you gotta tell them the record was Oye.
Yeah, people ask me all the time, Oye, Armando, una preguntita. Quick question. You an original recipe guy or you an extra crispy guy? And I tell them there's not just one way to be. You can't just be one-way artist, a one-way businessman. I like all the flavors because I'm a man that knows all the flavors. Feed your whole crew with KFC, let's go. I can get the KFC bucket of chicken and you know, that's fire! Now, Babu, you know that you could get that mac and cheese, that mashed potato, gravy, those biscuits. Now that's trouble right there. That is fire right there. Pero mi madre, que rico. It's a home-cooked meal. You don't even have to cook. You know, on Negative to Positive, we always talk about striving and achievement And Colonel Sanders was more than just a cook. He was an entrepreneur. He was driven. He was rejected. And mind you, the Colonel Sanders story is a story that inspired me since I was 10 years old. Look how life comes full circle. Now I'm talking about Colonel Sanders and Kentucky Fried Chicken and how much I love it. Qué rico.
Record was Oye.
Yeah, the record was
I
Oye.
was in Miami at the time, and I heard Oye on the radio, was banging on the radio.
Yeah.
And then, and at that time for me also, like being in Miami, walking down the street, a lot of Cubans would come up to me like, yo, man, we love your shit. We love your shit. A lot of Latinos just in general would come up to me just like, yo, we love your shit. And I was like, man, I need to have some Latino representation on this album. And so it's crazily ironic. Like I said, I heard Oye a lot. And then just running into Pit on the street that's destiny. That was supposed to happen.
Yes, sir.
We talking about Ocean Drive where you might have 10 friends on that street and never see them at one time. And
especially
so
at that time, yeah.
Run into each other and meet, and I was like, come by the studio, like right away.
But I thought
I came by that day or the next day.
The next day noon, he said, be at the studio over there, Audio Vision, which is where, Disco Rick is at. So I'm calling Disco off rip. Hey, is John really, is Lil Jon in there recording for real? He's like, yeah, man, he's supposed to be here at this time. Okay, cool. So I got there at 11. He got there at noon. I thought he was bullshit. A lot of people give you opportunity. They're going, yeah, come through tomorrow. I got you. I'm like, it's going to be some bullshit. I got there, and John was like, put on the beat. He's like, what you think about this? Which is track 18 off the Kings of Crunk. And I heard that shit. Man, gave me about 15 minutes, wrote up a rhyme. I spit the rhyme, no hook, no nothing. Well, I spit the verse, and John's like, that's cool. I'm gonna use that right there. Now I'm thinking, this is really some bullshit. And sure enough, man, he put it on the album, and that changed my life and really opened the doors for me for the music business at the next level, because it was Luke, Diaz Brothers, Laz, and then Lil Jon. So I appreciate that, and I learned a lot off that record. I'm gonna tell you why. Right after that record, number 19 is Get Low. Right? And I'm like, what the is this garbage? Right? 6 months later, I'm in the club talking about from the window to the wall.
It is.
Yeah, so it showed me that I didn't know what the I was talking about. And that's how I learned how to, certain records with John, man. John always thinking out the box.
Yeah, you got to.
Yes, sir.
Got to.
So I appreciate that. So as far as you working on Sweetie album right now, because I see she's the one that kind of brought all the beats back at this point, huh?
I mean, she's done Salt Shaker. She's done
I think it's Blow the Whistle.
Blow the Whistle.
Yeah.
And of course she did Freak a Leak. So that's 3 Lil Jon productions. So it's like only a matter of time before we got together and did some. So she recorded one already. She's gonna be recording another one this week, and then we just gonna be writing a bunch more. And it's really crazy to me right now because without coronavirus, my son wouldn't be home like this.
Right.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't be like in the studio together. Like he graduated from NYU this year.
Congrats, boy.
So he did the virtual graduation crap. It was cool. He went through the Clive Davis program.
Wow.
So which is another amazing thing. And like I said, without coronavirus, we probably wouldn't be home together like this. So
it's been a blessing.
We started producing together. And one of the tracks that Sweetie picked is one of the ones that we did together. So it's like, I remember when he was in his mom's belly kicking when I would be doing beats. And then I remember when he was a little baby, couldn't even walk, and he'll crawl into the back studio room and hit on the MPC pads, and now we're producing together.
Crazy.
So it's like amazing in
So
full
beautiful.
circle.
Come full circle, yeah. And
Does he think you're cool? Does your son think you're cool?
He didn't used to, but now it's like he can come to me and ask me like, your dad has got a Grammy. You know what I mean? Your dad has got all these awards. Your dad has produced hundreds of records. Your dad has worked with all of these artists. So now he knows he can ask me stuff. And then in working in the studio with me, like me and like Pit and like White Shadow, we have a different mindset of working in the studio. We gonna stay in that studio and push through whatever and get as much done as possible. So he's learning that drive. Like he don't have that. Like he'll just do a couple things and be like, all right, I'm good. You know what I mean? So around with me, he be in there about to pass out from being tired because I'm like, no, we got to get one more done. Or you know, come on, I just got a second win. Let's just try this idea. You know, so that's one thing that I love the most is he's picking up all of this knowledge, like what Pitt you was just talking about. Knowledge is the key. Passing the knowledge on.
Sir.
What's been the biggest advice?
Knowledge, I'm passing it to him.
What's been the biggest advice that you've given him?
The biggest stuff right now is just teaching him the drive, because I remember we used to always say you can't get ahead by just working 9 to 5. You got to work from 8 to midnight to 2, 3 in the morning. You know what I mean?
When you're dead.
You just can't go home after work. You know what I mean? You gotta work hard. You gotta work longer and harder than anyone else to achieve the goal. So just giving him that drive and just showing him like if you want it, you gotta go for it, and you can't take any opportunity for granted. You know, so like when Sweetie's people called and they wanted some shit, and I was like, we gotta get this shit done. We gotta, no matter what, it's an I kept telling them this is an opportunity, you know, and while people are with you, you got to seize that moment. Because they can move on to somebody else. So that's I guess all of that is the biggest stuff.
I feel you, man. The harder you work, the luckier you get. That's what I try to tell all the jits, especially in this day and age when it's all about instant gratification and shit is happening. You know, now. But another thing, John, I remember when we were at Circle House and you ran into. That's another thing that I've learned a lot from John. Me and John used to love the fucking leak records. He taught me how to fucking leak records. He's like, yo, throw it out there. We'll deal with it later. And Jenny, just so you know what it is, the leak a record means you put it out there without people's permission, they can come back and sue you. So John's the one. John's the one that taught me. He's like, hey man, if it's a big record, you get sued, that means it's a fucking hit record. So, which we went through a lot of those. Some of them together, and some of them we watched each other and what we went through. But I remember one that I think is, I would love the public to know about the story on how Freaka Leak was actually, the beat from Freaka Leak was actually before, and then you had to remake the beat for which you did, and we all know what kind of record that is. That should be on that car that Elon Musk sent to fucking Mars, so they can hear that shit. That's gonna be playing forever, right? And how you went back to the label and told them with the new beat, not Freaka Leak, because Petey Pablo stayed with the Freaka Leak beat, and you went to the label with and they said, fuck no, this shit ain't gonna work. And then what did you do after that, John?
So let me tell you a little bit more of the story, which is as I think about it these days and like now, I'm like, what made me do that? So when the call came, I remember L.A. Reid calling. He was in Miami. He called me and JD and was like, what the is going on? I'm hearing the beat on the radio. How the is it on the radio? That's because they had released the Petey Pablo shit, and somebody on the radio in Miami was using it as a talk over bed. They were talking over the beat. So he was like, oh shit, what the going crazy. So we had to go back in the studio. So in my mindset, I called and tried to get Petey to just like, let me just give you another beat. And they're like, nah, we keeping this beat. So in my mindset, I'm like, Petey Pablo ain't gonna do that. Shit ain't gonna do nothing. That ain't gonna do shit. So I was like, just take all the music off. I'm gonna just play some new music over the top of the beat. So we played new synthesizer and like something else over it. And so honestly, it is the same beat with different music. And I don't think anybody else has gotten away with that in the entire industry. Like 2 records out at the same time with the exact same drums, but just different music. I don't know anybody. That's pretty genius.
Hell yeah.
Genius. That's what I thought when I saw you playing. Bum, 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 bum. And then that's the part that I told you I learned from John when they told him, nah, we don't like it. It ain't gonna make the album or some shit like that. And you just said, well, f it. At that time is when it first started to go digital. And I remember you just pressing enter. You said, watch this, Chico. he pressed enter, went out to 1,500 DJs and
Yeah, what happened with that was like I was talking to Jermaine, right? And the label were like, we want to put out Burn first. No, Burn is the single. Usher's mom, Burn is the single. So I talked to JD and he was like, man, just leak that. I was like, all right.
Don't tell me twice.
So the first DJ to get the record, I was in New York. I gave it to K Slay. K Slay was the first DJ to get it. But K was like, I can't really play it on my show because my shit grimy. So he gave it to Sonny. Sonny was on at like 10 in the morning on Hot 97. So Sonny was the first DJ to play on the radio. And Hot 97 was the first station to like go in on it. Right. So yeah, I leaked it out to all these other stations, but Hot 97 was the first one to go in. And so when all of these stations started to play it, the label was like, nah, we can't have this. We don't want this as a single. So they sent out what they call cease and desist letters. That means you have to stop playing this song. They sent this to all these radio stations. Hot 97 was like, man, get the out of here. This is a smash. Y'all tripping. Y'all, we ain't stopping playing.
This is Negative to Positive, and I know you're absorbing all the knowledge we're putting out there. Our mission is to educate, inform, and also make sure you have a good time while we're doing it. And we're brought to you by State Farm. So keep in mind, when you're planning your future, they're going to get things right when it comes to insurance. Now, it's important to have a little extra change in your back pocket. So I'm taking a minute to remind everybody. State Farm has the kind of rates that can put some extra money back in your pocket. Check them out when you have a minute. They're going to get things done the right way. This podcast is all about elevating ourselves and changing from negative to positive. When we were looking for a partner for Negative to Positive, I came up with State Farm, and I want to tell you why. 3 reasons. Number 1, we're going to get knowledgeable agents. Number 2, you're going to get great service and great rates. Tremenda sorpresa. And number 3, you're going to get the real deal. Because like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And number 1, number 2, and number 3, that's everything that Pitbull embodies. I'd advise highly that you check them out. You know what it is.
I just found out recently because K Slay was telling the story about this, and Sonny was telling the story, and they said the PD took the cease and desist letter and framed it.
Right.
Wow.
Put it in her office.
Insane.
So crazy, but yeah, that's the power of the people. You know, the people are the ones that dictate to you what's good and what's not.
You can't stop a hit.
You know, some it's garbage, but the people is like, nah, this is a smash. We love this song.
Yeah.
You know
John, I got a question for you. In this day and age now that we're living in, you say you've been at the crib for 5 months, something good came out of it. You've been blessed to be able to do music with your son and, take that and, turn a negative situation into a positive situation. Yeah. But you've also been doing live DJ sets on Saturday night on liljon.com live or liljonlive.com. How is that going? It looks like it's amazing.
Crazy because I had totally new technology. Like, I didn't know anything about live streaming. I didn't know anything about like the video capture that you gotta do. And I had to learn everything, and I totally immersed myself in that world, and I know that like the back of my hand now. So yeah, we've been doing it since April. I think we did the first set, and I've figured out that you have to be consistent. So I figured out what's the best day for me. So I was Saturdays. So Saturdays, 10 p.m. liljonlive.com. I DJ for 3 hours.
Wow.
Damn.
I think I have the best show on the internet. In the sense of my vibe is Southern, is a DJ from a Southern DJ standpoint. So a lot of Southern hip hop, Atlanta, and my visuals are out of this world. Like, it's crazy. Like, a lot of green screen that we recorded and put into the set, people's videos. We take a lot of time and putting it together. But yeah, it's great, man. The reception is amazing. I've got people that basically come back every Saturday for the show. People hit me up all the time like, man, I can't wait for this week's show, or you got me through this, or you got me through this, or that. And it actually got me through some hard days. You know what I mean? Because of when the George Floyd stuff really hit and it started to impact us all, it helped me and a lot of people to be able to have a release in all of this negative climate and this sorrow and sadness and unknown, you know? So it helped to give an outlet. So I'm happy to be there for people every Saturday and to give them some good music. And yeah, it's a great time. But I literally, like I said, had to learn all of this stuff from scratch that I had no idea of any knowledge about at all. And it was a rough kind of learning curve, but we figured it all out and we dialed it in, and it's a great show.
Well, that's what it's about, right? Negative to positive, but more than anything, reinventing yourself, pivoting. That's what we've always done. That's why we've always found a way to survive in the game. And especially in this day and age, it's survival of the fittest, let's just say.
Right.
Which is, it reminds me of another story because I think you're one of the only people to have a record go #1 with no video ever shot on that. And that record, we all know which one it is, which is Lovers and Friends.
Yeah.
You know, I think y'all should just get together and shoot a video anyway now, right?
Well,
y'all look
we
the
talked
same.
about that. We had a lot of conversations about that, so that potentially
It was the
definitely
anniversary
still
of that
happen.
not too long ago, wasn't it?
What, Lovers and Friends?
Yeah. Wasn't
Maybe
it?
like last year.
Yeah, like
I
a
don't
10-year
remember.
anniversary.
Well, I don't know. You dropped another one with Luda and Usher. And I heard you playing one of those DJ sets that was off the chain too. So
Yeah, that one, and that's the power of the internet. That was a record that he had been sitting on for 2 years, and I was getting ready to do the versus battle, and like a couple days before the battle, I heard T-Pain play. Well, I saw on his Instagram he had previewed a new Chris Brown record, and I was like, well, damn, he gonna probably play that in the battle. So I hit Usher like, yo, like T-Pain gonna play this new Chris Brown. You can't have me looking crazy, bro. I need to have one to play. And so I played the record, and I didn't just play it, I broke the record. Like, it's a difference. Like, DJs nowadays don't know how to break a record. Like, you give them a tease, then you start it over. You give them a tease, start it over. You keep hyping it up, basically.
Yeah.
So I broke the record during the versus battle, and in the comments, people were going fucking crazy. They were like, yo, drop this. What the f***? Y'all been sitting on this for this long? Like, we need this. And I've never had a record deal with 3 major artists be turned around so quickly. They got the deal done in 3 days, and we had it out by the next weekend.
Oh, yes, sir. Well, congrats on that, man. And with that said, Lil Jizzle, what is it that you got coming up now? Like, let's say, swinging out of this quarantine, because it has been, for folks that are very creative, let's say a blessing in disguise, right? Because even with you DJing, I'm sure you're getting inspired on being on and listening to certain things and going, ooh, I'd love to flip this. Ooh, I can't wait to get at this. So coming out of the quarantine, what are you looking to, I say, what's the new hustle, the new grind? Is the streaming something you're still going to be messing with, or you feel that that's something just as a novelty right now?
Well, I'm working on a pretty big deal for the DJ sets. I don't really want to speak on who it's going to be with, but so that would be like a year deal. So I probably would have to be doing it for a year. But it's cool because with the technology, I can also record the show, like, and broadcast it later. But really, like, for me, man, I kind of wanted to eventually move away from doing so many live DJ sets on the road and being back producing. So the quarantine, negative to positive, basically did it for me. I didn't have to
win-win.
Slowly stop DJing and get into production. It was like, DJing is over with and just do some damn beats, you know. So,
you know, one thing that we don't talk about enough in the Latino community, or I would say in any community, to be honest with you, is mental health. And that's why I think that the work that they do at Talkspace is so important. With Talkspace, you can match up with your perfect therapist that can advise you with what's going on in your life. Part of what I'm doing with Negative to Positive is encouraging people to change their lives, change the things that are within their power. Self first, not selfish. What I mean by self first, love yourself, help yourself, believe in yourself. What they're doing at Talkspace is providing a solution for treating anxiety, for treating depression, for treating substance abuse. I mean, this is the time that we need that the most. With Talkspace, you can get in online therapy and you can take care of your mental health, which is so important. Everyone needs somebody to talk to sometimes. When things are getting a little hard to handle, with Talkspace, you're able to find that support. With Talkspace, you can match up with your perfect therapist that can advise you with things that you need to be doing in your life. And you can do that by downloading the app. For everybody listening to Negative to Positive, there's a special offer right now on Talkspace. Just use promo code Pitbull and you will get $100 off your first month, which is important in helping you make the changes that you want to make. Just use promo code Pitbull and you will get $100 off your first month. Take care of yourself so that you can take care of others. Remember, self first, not selfish. Love yourself first. Help yourself first. Believe in yourself first. And then in turn, you can love others, help others, and have others believe in you with whatever message you're driving. You already know what it is. It's that little Chico Pitbull, Mr. 305, but it said Mr. Worldwide, and this message has been approved by Armando Cristian Perez.
And like I said, I'm doing it with my son, so I'm giving him this knowledge, and we're making the money together. So I think after this, it's going to be a lot more Lil Jon production, because I wonder.
We look forward to that. Yeah.
So a lot more producing and then still DJing live sets here and there, but it'll be number one for me to be producing again.
Thank you, Corona.
Can I yeah, right.
Right.
Yo, can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Like, so just from a producer's standpoint, obviously I'm not a scale of Lil Jon, but and I look up to Jon for so many.
Out of here.
Come on.
Your mother did not say that.
Shut up. Let's take this. I will tell you this. I've watched Jon, he started off as a DJ, right?
Yep.
Like that was your cornerstone. Go into being widely accepted as one of the biggest producers of all time. For real. And you say whatever you want. You are. You're an icon. You're an icon in so many ways.
So I think it's DJ, A&R, right?
Right.
Yep.
A&R, okay.
A producer, right?
Yeah.
And then I remember seeing you right here in Miami at Art Basel playing a room. You got back into DJing, right? Am I saying this wrong?
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. I walked into
Josh Wagner's party.
That's right. I walked into a room at Art Basel and Jon's DJing. I'm like, what the fuck is this motherfucker doing DJing right now, right? He's over there DJing, kicking it. Yo, flash forward like 5 years later, this motherfucker's at Hakkasan in Vegas, like getting shot out of a rocket with this fucking it's like Jon is a constant innovator, a changer, like he's a fucking nerd in the best way humanly possible. He'll sit
You're
there.
right. I am a nerd.
Yeah.
You're totally correct.
You will sit there and learn something to the 10th.
Yes.
Like work all day and all night. And I really admire that about you, bro. It's like taught me a lot as a producer and as just a person in the game, is an outlier from you, like just to watch you do stuff. So I would say, like, as someone that Pitt said was coming on here, and something I appreciate about you too, brother, like you constantly, like this has been inspirational for me for a number of reasons, but to have a chance to sit here and talk to you, because I really feel like you are one of those people that does turn nothing into something on a consistent basis because of the hard work that you put in on things, man.
Yes, sir. I remember, Jizzle, remember when you took me on a tour with Eminem and 50 Cent's, the anger management tour?
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
So Jon would bring on the ghetto speakers that we would basically use in the block party. and at that time, the hottest thing was 50. At that time, 50, G-Unit, and obviously Eminem, he would forever be, my soul's 50. But so I'm very blessed to be on this tour. I had about maybe like 45 seconds or a minute and a half on stage that he allowed me to spit a rhyme or a verse. So he'd bring out these big-ass speakers, and all the G-Unit would come to the room and get loose with Jon, and Jon would have them drinking and going crazy. Some of them got so fucked up they couldn't hit the stage some nights.
Yeah, and we used to barbecue too. That's what a tour is supposed to be. It's like everybody get along, everybody fuck with each other. It's like, the G-Unit guys, we would be barbecuing. Like, we had a grill on the bus, so whenever we get to a city, we'd just be grilling, and they'll come by and fucking hang out. And like Pitt said, I had this crazy speaker set up for my dressing room. Like when you go on tour, sometimes people have a TV and video games and all that. We had these speakers, and 50 and M used to be like, motherfucker, I hear your shit all the way in my room. Like, so we used to be rocking so hard. And everybody used to come with everybody, man. It was good times. And I was blessed to be able to go on a tour like that. I mean, that's fucking Eminem and
crazy.
50 Cent.
Yeah, it was great.
And the other big part about that tour was Eminem ended the show with me. He would bring me on stage and be like, yo, Jon, are we finished? Yeah, what? Are we finished? What? Are we finished? Yeah. All right, let's go then. Okay. And that's how we ended every show on the tour. So that is crazy. Like he stamped me like that. Right. You know what I mean? So
then he jumped on that Lean Back remix, if I'm not mistaken. It was after that, right?
Yeah. So I want to just say this real quick, the negative and the positive thing, because that's like one of the things I go by every day in life is that no matter how, I always say this, no matter how negative something is, you can always pull positive out of it. I guess that's us Capricorns.
Yes, sir.
The same way. But that's just how I live my life. No matter how f***ed up the situation is, it's always some positive you can pull from that. And if everybody out there that can hear my voice and see our faces and so on and so forth goes by that, you'll always be able to come out of whatever you're going through and move forward in a positive way.
Oh, man. Well, with that said, that could have brought this to a closure even better, man. I want to say, Lil Jizzle, as always, man, I appreciate you. I love you. I'm always proud of you. And like Paul was talking about, the way you just hustle and grind and always find a way to make it happen, and always have inspired me and taught me a lot of the hustle and the grind and how to move and maneuver. So I appreciate that. And from White Shadow, myself, Jenny V, DJ Laz, from the MIA 305 to the ATS, shouty. We appreciate you. From a negative to positive, baby.
Hey, Chico.
Yeah.
Before we let him go, can we do a shot real quick?
You want to do a shot?
Let's do a shot real quick.
I think we should do a shot.
I think we should do a shot.
I know you still doing tequila?
Yeah.
But you ain't got no tequila over there. You can take a virtual shot. Jenny, go ahead.
Hey, since everything is virtual these days, you can do the virtual one.
I'll take it for real. The middle one. So yeah, John, now we got our own tequila. It's called Panita. I got to get you some.
Oh yeah. You definitely need to send me that. I need to try that out.
Yeah. Except this one, you still doing something with them folks or what?
No, we cool, but I don't have to deal with them right now.
Gotcha. Nah, but we can edit it, so we can talk about it. Okay, we can talk about it, that's right, because we can edit it. All right, well. Now, I had other stories I wanted to talk about, but I was like, that might be incriminating. Let me shut the fuck up.
Yeah, we done seen a lot of shit together.
Yeah.
It'll be like beep beep.
Yeah.
Beep, beep, beep.
Nah, John will be like, Chico, what the f***? Are you crazy? Why we
Shut the f*** up, shut up.
Stop talking. Stop talking.
Man.
When you looking to get out, though, when you coming down to the crib?
Hey, Fee.
Man, I ain't around till they figure this shit out, man. I know like 20 people that don't have that corona shit.
Really?
I'm like, this shit crazy.
Yeah, but they survived, though, huh?
Yeah.
I know like 2 people that died.
Yeah, we just got to figure out the autopsy report really say. Hey.
Yeah, I guess you like, it, I'm out.
Yeah, you already know me. Hey, but we're down here actually working on an album now, too. So therefore, if anything that you come across your mind on some for me, highly appreciate it. You and also and Paul could get on the phone.
Straight up tempos. I ain't doing nothing.
That's
but
all.
Let's do it.
Hey, can I send you some stuff? I'll text it to you.
Definitely.
All right, I'll text you. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Just to put you in a mind frame, it's dope. I mean, we're in a zone, just that zone exactly. So I mean,
all right. Yeah, I'm on it. I'm back on these crazy 808s and all.
All right, so we'll have to for an edit. Are we starting?
Nah, I guess we ended it. De Binga. And we can end it with De Binga.
Yeah, right.
Hey, to the King of Crunk, Lil Jon, from the MIA to the ATL, baby. We appreciate you, and this is how you take a negative to a positive. Dale! Woo! That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Take care, Papa. I love you, bro. Be safe, man.
I got your love, man. Love.
All right, John.
Darling.
All right. Peace.
I want to say I appreciate the love for you guys tuning in on the first episode. Now, you know what's coming up this weekend? Oh, this weekend is that live and timeless Pitbull concert. And I need y'all to check it out on livexlive.com/Pitbull. I want to say I appreciate the love to Pepsi for showing us love and all the support. And what you need to do is register to vote. Not now. I'm talking about right now. Unmute your voice and register to vote now at rockthevote.org/Pepsi. It's that little Chico Pitbull, Mr. 305, but it said Mr. Worldwide. You already know what it is. This is how you take your life from a negative to a positive. You can watch the vodcast on YouTube. Subscribe today. Apple Podcasts, PodcastOne, Spotify. Next week on From Negative to Positive. You know, Luther Campbell, he's the one, the first one to give me my first opportunity in the game. I signed my first contract with him. And matter of fact, I can't wait to talk about that because the first check he gave me, got to the bank, gave the check, and it said insufficient funds. Listen to my new podcast, From Negative to Positive. Subscribe today on Apple Podcasts, PodcastOne, Spotify. Dale, que tú puedes.